Hello everybody, welcome to another Rick's Picks. Today I'm going to be doing my review of the new Etheria figure, Hordak. Now, as we all noticed, they're starting the Etheria line. So it started out with She-Ra. Now we have Hordak. Hopefully we'll get some more members of the Evil Horde through this. And also some of She-Ra's Princess of Power. So I'm going to look forward to hopefully seeing those figures come out with this as well. But I am excited to take a look at this figure. One other thing I want to mention, I just started a membership program through YouTube where for a monthly fee, you get to see extra content and what have you. So I ask that you check that out as well. So without any further ado, roll that intro. So here he is in packaging. The first thing is you got your Mattel logo here, your age restriction, 30 points of articulation, and you also have the Masterverse. All right. Working our way on down, you got 40 years of She-Ra. You got his name here, and you have a small window so you can see the figure. Also right here, you have New Etheria, which is, of course, the planet that She-Ra lives on, opposed to Eternia, where He-Man lives. And you get some pretty decent artwork. Now, I like how he looks on this. I like the bats around him. Kind of gives like a Batman vibe to it, but it still looks pretty cool. Wrap it around this way. You can see his blaster arm that he's most noted for in the cartoons. And it looks like it's the fright zone that he's on top of because you can see the tree up there. I would have liked, I would have liked to have seen more characters behind them, like maybe some members of the Horde or something. I know they're coming out with Montana, so it probably would have been cool to see him behind them or something. But so it's cool looking art. It just feels a little basic to me. All right, now we come around here. You get this nice picture of him. I do like that. A look at all his accessories, a little bit about him, and everybody that's part of this wave. Around to this side here, you get a cool profile picture and a headshot. I like this picture actually a lot more than I like the other art. I think this looks way cooler. All right, and back around to the front. Underneath, you got your legal. So let's open him up and see what he's about. So here he is out of packaging. I think he's an overall impressive looking figure. I just love the profile to this guy. He looks really cool. So first we're going to start off with his points of articulation. So the head does move. All right, you get a shoulder joint with a swivel, an elbow joint, and you get a wrist joint. All right, get this other arm up. All right, you do have a joint here at the hips. There is a joint inside here because you can see the back and forth movement. It's just doesn't get much movement due to the armor on them. All right, so you got a thigh joint with a swivel. You got a knee joint. You also have a swivel at the boot and an ankle joint. So everything works pretty well on him. No real issues, not even tight knees like a lot of these figures, you usually have like really tight knees on them, but this guy you don't. I'm trying to get this armband back to where it needs to be. Oh well. Anywho, so now get his head straight. Let's take a good look at his finer details. So first off, I love the head sculpt on him. I like the overall design and detail to it, to the red teeth, to where like he has those bumps on his head that look pretty cool. I like the detailing in the ears and that dark gray contrast to light gray on his chin. I do like that. A little bit of a paint discrepancy right here by the eye, but not a major thing. All right. And I also like that his head is separated from the cowl. I've been noticing more and more figures that come out, they're doing that with him now. It kind of works for me. I do like it. So now you get into the body and the armor. And I love the overall look to this armor. I think that looks really cool. You got the bat emblem. I like the designing on his belt. All right. If you spin it around to this side a little bit, you can see these breather holes on the side that look really, really cool. And his boots. I like how the boots look with the bat symbol actually wrapping semi around his legs. So when we bring him around here, you can see how that bat symbol just wraps around, which looks really neat. And you also have these bolts here on the side that look pretty cool. I do like all the attention to detail on him. And of course, if you want to take it off, there's these two little snaps on either side that allow you to take the armor off. All right. So now you come to the back. Here's the two holes for the wings to connect. And then you come around to this side and you look at the arm gauntlet. I like the arm gauntlet design. That's pretty cool. He does have his Horde arm guard or bicep piece here. That looks pretty cool. Unfortunately, it's spun around on me. So if you want to see the actual headpiece, there it is there. I got to spin it back around to how it's supposed to be on them. But overall, I love the overall look to this figure. So now let's take a good look at his accessories. So he comes with the iconic cannon arm. All right. That's pretty cool. He comes with a shield. All right, with the Horde logo on it. That looks pretty cool. He comes with a staff. I do like that. That looks pretty neat. With the dragon wrapped around it. That does look pretty wild. And he also comes with these bat wings. And I've been noticing with some of these Hordak figures lately, they are giving them bat wings for some reason. I don't know why, but it does look pretty cool. I do like that. Now, something I didn't mention earlier is that I like that they went with the gray with him. I mean, I know the blue is usually the more popular version of them because of, the Filmation cartoon. But I always liked the gray. I think the gray made him look more evil and menacing, opposed to the blue that he's a lot brighter. I just like this darker look. I think it looks a lot better. So now let's start seeing how everything works on him. So first, I'll spin him around and get these wings on him. Okay. So let's pop this one in first. All right, that is on. Now the other one. All right. And there it is. That snapped in. That one won't snap. So there's the wings on his back. I like the look to him. I think I would have liked to have seen a little bit more detail, like something to give it a little bit more pop. I mean, I understand that they're going for the translucent look, and they do look cool on him. And I do like that. Like I said, I think I would have liked to have seen a little bit like in the fingering of it. Maybe had that an offshoot color, like maybe a gray, black, or even a white, just to offshoot the red to really give these wings a pop. But they're still pretty cool looking. I do like that. Next we got is his staff. All right, let's see how well this goes into his hands. All right, so that pops in there really nicely. Oops. Hold up. I made him a little front heavy. All right. Now, the neat thing about this staff, too, is if you really want to, I believe this dragon can actually come off. Yes. So if you want the dragon to come off of here, it is 100% removable. All right. So as you can see, that is removable. And it came off pretty easily. And it will go on just as well. Just corkscrews on. Get in. There we go. and right back on. So that's kind of a neat detail that's actually removable. And now we're going to do the cannon arm. So you have to take the hand off. All right, take the gauntlet off as well. All right, that goes in there just like that. That has no issues. Looks pretty wicked on them. All right. Now I'm going to guess to put the... You might have to take... Yeah. You're going to have to take these gauntlets off to put this on. All right. I mean, you may be able to get it on over the gauntlet, but in all honesty, it just makes life 100 times easier just to slide it on just like this. Get the hand back in there. Just like that. All right. So now, got the... Oops. And he does want to fall forward today. All right. So as you see, get this wing out of the way here. The shield fits on him really well. No issues with that. So everything seems to work pretty well with this guy. So now here's the New Etheria Hordak opposed to the Princess of Power Hordak. Now looking at them both side by side, you can see definitely the Etheria one towers over the Princess of Power one. So he's a lot bigger. Now, these two figures are basically two totally different characters. Like, they're done totally different. This one obviously reflects more of the cartoon. You can tell by the whole design to him, from how his, vest piece here is designed to put, and his feet are all designed very much similar to the Princess of Power cartoon. All right. His is more designed off of the Masters of the Universe figures as well. You spin them to this side. All right. Get this wing out of the way. Oh, I'll put this up like this. Put his up like that as well. I'll spin this around. He definitely has the more impressive looking cannon opposed to him. His is kind of basic, but it still looks cool. It works with this particular figure. His is just bigger, meaner, and nastier. All right. The shields are the same shield. All right. The only real difference is this one has black opposed to that one having red. All right. And then when you look around to the backs, obviously he has a cape, which is cloth, which is really nice. And he has, the bat wing. So, I don't know. I like both of these guys. I like them both because they are two very different types of Hordak. They weren't trying to copy this one when they made this one. They decided to do a whole totally different thing with them. So I like that. I think both of these figures are definitely worth getting because they're both very different. So it's two very different forms of Hordak. All right, let's get into my final thoughts with him. So first off, all his joints work very well with him. Don't have any issues with any of his joints. Everything seemed to move fluently and what have you. I do like that. All his accessories fit fine with them. Didn't have any issues with any of his accessories. And I love the overall look to him. I like how he looks. I love the attention to detail. I like the gray skin opposed to the blue, and I've always liked it that way. Don't have any issues with the blue skin, but I always like the gray skin better. So, would I recommend this figure? Absolutely. I think he is a great looking figure. I love the overall look to him. I like the detail. I like how his gauntlets are. I like how the staff is. I like the blaster and what have you. But I do feel like there are a few flaws with him. For starters, with this blaster cannon, I would have liked to have seen some sort of blast effect because all you have is this empty hole. So if you wanted him to be like in this position, firing, it's just, I would have liked to have seen some sort of blast effect that could hook onto that. Plus, and maybe this is just me being a little bit old-fashioned, I liked when all the Horde figures came with their own signature crossbow. I would have liked him to have come with that. I think that would have been just a cool little extra detail those are the two things that I personally feel like they could have done to improve this figure. And the other thing I like about him is that he isn't a complete carbon copy of the Princess of Power Hordak, as we saw in the comparison part of this video. I like that he's a totally different figure, so it makes it worth your while to get both, because now you have two totally different versions of him, opposed to one that might be slightly different than the other one. So you would be asking yourself, well, is this really worth it? I think both versions of him are really worth getting, and I'd highly recommend these figures for anybody who's a Masters of the Universe fan. So, with that being said, I hope you guys did like this review. If you did, go ahead and check out my Masters of the Universe playlist and check out my new membership program. For a small fee, you get a lot of extra stuff that other people will not be able to see. And hit that like, share, and subscribe. They're all small clicks for you, but it really helps this channel grow. So until the next one, late.